Welcome back to Say Nothing, the podcast bringing you an exclusive serialization of this gripping audiobook. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or following along chapter by chapter, settle in, get comfortable, and enjoy the ride. If you can't wait for the next episode, or you'd like to experience Say Nothing in full, you can purchase the complete book right now. Just follow the link in the description. Chapter 9. These were streets that Owen didn't recognize. As he followed Sam across North London, he realized that there was no easy way out of this relationship if things turned sour. Not only did Sam now know precisely what he looked like, he had his mobile phone number and his email address. Perhaps this is what I need, Owen thought to himself. The final push is always the hardest, so having no way of turning back is essential. This would be the mindset he had to adopt. Come what may, he and Sam were now in this together, and backing out was no longer an option. "Just around here," said Sam, breaking the silence. "We'll head to the flat and wait for the others." Others? Owen suddenly felt out of his depth, a fear sending a shiver from head to toe. He stopped suddenly. "Others? What others? You never mentioned others before. What is this?" Sam turned and smiled at Owen. It was an uncomfortable sight, as though it was an expression Sam rarely, if ever, embraced. It filled Owen with dread, but he had to stay bold. "Listen, I don't know what you've got planned up there, but I'm not entering that building until I know it's safe. So you'd better start talking." The awkward smile quickly left Sam's face. He walked towards Owen, unbothered that the difference in height set him at a disadvantage. Having spent his entire life with people looking down on him, Sam had established an inner will that was determined and resolute. "You know why you're here, don't you?" Owen made to take a step back, but knew this display of weakness would now, and forevermore, provide Sam with the upper hand throughout their relationship. He stood resolute and said nothing. "If you think we're going to be able to pull this off with just the two of us, you're not the man you led me to believe. This project needs bodies to be a success, particularly to the scale you're targeting. Now, if you want to explain to me how you plan on doing it with just you and me, I'm all ears. But right now, I can't help but think you may be getting in over your head." There was a menace about Sam. His intensity was like nothing Owen had experienced before. "So what do you say? Shall we go in and wait, or shall we just go?" He motioned to the doorway leading up to his flat. Almost without thinking, Owen started for the door. It may well be frightening, he thought to himself, but it was precisely what was needed. From now on, he considered Sam to be a man that would give no quarter and would get the job done. It was a character trait that he both admired and desired. He entered the doorway and began to climb the stairs. The chaos of the room reminded Owen of his younger years, a time when he had little regard for maintaining an organized home. In fact, it was only since being with Sarah that he had felt obliged to change. Sam's abode, though, was something else. It took longer than it should to identify the sofa, and once he had, it took even more time to muster the desire to sit. Paper littered every surface, and the floor was covered with clothing. There was no hint as to what Sam did for a living, but the state of both he and his apartment made Owen certain the answer was not very much. In the corner there was a computer with dual screens covered in code. "Ah," thought Owen. "Web developer?" he asked Sam. He nodded in the affirmative, but went no further to detail the intricacies of his role. Though the room was a mess, the large bay window flooded the apartment with natural light, a feature that was in short supply throughout the capital. As he delicately negotiated his way to the sofa, Owen was startled by the receipt of a text message. He reached into his pocket and unlocked his phone. It was from Sarah. She was apologizing for her morning outburst and was looking forward to his coming home. There was that pang of guilt once again. "Drink can fix you up a coffee if you want." Sam had ventured to the kitchenette area and was toiling through the mess, desperately seeking a clean cup or two. This didn't fill Owen with confidence. No, I'm good." "Suit yourself. They won't be long. What have you got with you then?" Sam pointed to the laptop case Owen had been carrying and now rested on his knees. "You made any more progress?" In the days leading up to the visit, it hadn't occurred to him to prepare anything. It was this meeting where Owen hoped to thrash out some of the details. Besides, any preparatory work he would have done would have been rendered moot due to the change in personnel. Still, it was with a slightly sheepish look that he replied, "No, nothing. This was just for work." Sam exhaled a sigh and stared at his guest with what Owen could only presume was abject disappointment. "Well, we need to get things rolling." The buzzer to the apartment rang. Owen's heart began to pound uncontrollably. How was he going to perceive those new members? How were they going to perceive him? "Let me get this," said Sam, walking over to the intercom. "Yep, come up." He buzzed in his comrades. Owen could tell there was more than one set of feet coming up the stairs, but the sound was such that it was by no means going to be a crowd. "Focus on your breathing," he told himself. "They're here because they believe in the cause." Seconds later, 3 strong and rugged-looking men appeared in the doorway. "This is more like it," thought Owen. "These look ex-military." He rose to his feet and proceeded to tackle the makeshift obstacle course that was the floor of Sam's apartment. "Fucking hell, Sam," boomed one of the men. "This place is a fucking pigsty. You need to sort yourself out. I've seen better-looking car wrecks than this place." In complete disregard of the mess on the floor, he bounded towards Owen and reached out a giant hand. The ensuing handshake stopped just short of dislocating Owen's shoulder. "What's up, bro? Tony, you must be Owen. Get here all right?" "Yeah, fine. Good to meet you." "Shit. No one said about you being Irish. Where you from, Patty?" Owen noted how this man's confidence was through the roof, radiating charisma. The 2 other men that came in with him hadn't spoken a word. "Belfast? Ah, good man. Great city. Seen some shit over there, I can tell you. Great city, though. Love it." "And you were in Belfast doing what?" It was a question met with a smile. Just as Tony was about to speak, Sam decided to jump in. "These are Chris and Dan. We, were all in Afghanistan together." The 2 men nodded without so much as a word. This revelation came as a shock to Owen. Not so much that the 3 newcomers had been based overseas, but that Sam too had been part of the military in one of the most dangerous places in the world. Try as he might, Owen just could not picture him in the forces. Perhaps it was his own misguided notion of what a soldier should look like. From now on, he was going to have to reserve judgment on his host. Thank you for listening to this excerpt from Say Nothing, a compelling thriller currently available on Amazon. Follow the link in the description to order your copy today. Please like and review this podcast and recommend to your friends. Don't forget to tune in again and join us for the next chapter.